Disney Inside Out podcast. I am Andrea.
I'm Ryan.
And who's here?
I am Reid.
Reid Foster. And what was that song that was playing? Are we being taken over by toxic masculinity?
I don't know sports.
Are we about to talk about all the people that are going to get drafted? And I absolutely know their names, and I know that
Is the specter of John Tesh in the room with us right now?
I
feel like I'm in a different world.
I know. The song
A Disney World?
Have you
A Disney World.
Wait, have you ever heard the song where it's like there was a sketch that that Tim Robinson and Jason Sudeikis did where they make fun of the song for the NBA where it's like basketball, give me the ball. No,
wait, is that on his show, Tim Robinson? Because I love.
No, it was on SNL back in the day. Yes, but no, we decided that we're gonna have a little draft of our own today. Very exciting, because when you're listening, when this drops, tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th, is the NBA or the MNBA, because there's the WNBA, the MNBA draft for the basketball players. And we thought maybe we'd do a little draft of our own here. Now, this may be a full court press over here.
What does that mean?
You might exactly. I don't really know. I just saw it was a phrase.
I was like, full.
You might have heard a ball control in basketball, but how about bell control?
When we say the ball is in their court, we really mean something different this time.
When we say beast mode, we don't mean at the castle in France.
I feel like you guys rehearsed this.
No, I swear. Really? Because I think it's bad. So I
actually do think that by beast mode we mean a castle in France.
In France?
I think we do mean that.
In your mind's eye, that's what you see when you're like, Jalen Brunson's going beast mode.
He
couldn't, because he's the greatest cutie pie that's ever existed. He's up there with Ohtani, honestly, from just being the little sweetiest people ever. Ohtani is a baseball player.
Okay, I didn't know.
All right, Ryan is totally
I was like,
lost.
I want to feel included.
That's how I know he's never been to Japan.
That's how you know?
Exactly. Well, let's get on even ground with Ryan here, okay? Mm-hmm. We're gonna do a princess draft today.
Now you're talking.
Now we're talking. Now
I've got the juice is flowing.
Now we got a lifetime fan over here. We just thought this would be good synergy, because after all, Disney does own ESPN, and the NBA did play at Disney World when during lockdown at Coronado Springs, as we had previously discussed. Yes. Right. So there's a lot of crossover, and I feel like not enough Disney podcasts talk about what?
You said a crossover. That's something that like a basketball player does. A little crossover.
You practiced. You practiced this.
You know, well, because here, okay, this is a sports-themed podcast, and we've got 3 levels of sports understanding. Reid, diehard fan. Me, against my will, under duress, constantly in my home. You, basically not at all.
Absolutely nothing.
Yes. So this is an interesting, bit we have going on here. So we decided, similar to the villain draft, we're going to bring Reid back to inject some, sports ball-ness. It's a thing. Since Reid does work in sports media, Reid also is a yoga teacher. And
Pilates.
I'm sorry, Pilates too. He did just get certified. I had to help him with a video, and I was woefully unqualified to be helping him.
We never plugged your yoga. Do you want to plug?
I think people, if they want to find out, though, it really doesn't really matter unless they're in Bushwick or Ridgewood.
Well, what if?
But they can see you on Instagram, baby.
Sure, if they want to. I mean, they want to take my class, they can.
Okay, and what is your handle?
It's Reid Foster Yoga.
There we go. But not Pilates? You're selling yourself short.
True, I could change it.
You could just add it, yeah.
But we thought we'd bring him back in to give us
Reid
a little...
Foster Yoga, Pilates, and Princesses.
And princesses.
Oh, then you'd get people like, huh?
They'll be like, what kind of princesses? Pillows? Anyway, okay. So I decided I'm going to sit this one out, because if you remember, I won the villains draft previously. True. And I totally forgot to post this, but we did get a trophy during the villains award, which was, I have it here. It's a piston cup that I got from Etsy, and it says, whoa, in the vein, and it says Owen Wilson, in the vein of Owen Wilson.
Okay, so, wow.
Oh, wow. Sorry. What am I saying? I'm thinking of Joey from Blossom, who's like, whoa.
Yeah.
He says,
you're right.
Whoa. It's just the two of you, and then I get to have more control, which I like.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is, instead of getting some rankings from a website that we don't know the person. We don't know if it's fake, #fake news, you know. I decided I would go to some experts for some stats. Those being 3 girls that I nanny. Now, I will not be saying their actual names on here because
we don't need to.
They
Protect the children.
Like, they don't have Instagram accounts, so they can't help our numbers anyway. So like, why am I going to name check them? But I'm going to give them code names. So they're going to be considered coaches. So like how a coach or a team organization would draft a player, which is going to happen tomorrow. These are the coaches of princesses, and they drafted a team or ranked players that they would like to draft.
Okay.
And I have weighted their choices accordingly. So let me just explain what the scoring system will be. We have 15 princesses on our list. Normally in regulation, there are 13, but I am also including Anna and Elsa.
Okay.
That means each of you will get 7 princesses to choose. That means 1 princess will be left off. So you need to make a calculated choice about who's going to get left behind.
I already know.
Oh, okay. What about you, Reid? Do
You know which one's not going to get drafted?
I mean, in
For
my
you.
mind,
I'll be honest, I have a bias against one, but I also feel that I have to keep other things in mind when I'm making my selections, and I will just keep it at that.
Fair
I'll
enough.
elaborate later so I don't spoil the strategy.
respect.
So each coach went ahead. I gave them the sheet that you're looking at in front of you. What they did is they went through and circled all the princesses they do know. And then after doing that, they ranked them 1 down about who is their best princess according to them.
Okay.
If the girls gave the score of 1, since there are 15 princesses, their number 1 slot got 16 points. So 1 more, it gets a little extra point because they rated it number 1. Then after that, every princess following would get 15, 14, 13, 12, and so on. If they didn't know who the princess was at all, that princess got a 0 on their scorecard. All of them were added together and then averaged.
Okay.
And I think we got a game, folks. We got a game. Let me tell you about your coaches, your princess coaches that will be the basis for the scoring system. So the way in which I name these coaches or teams is that I asked the children what their favorite mythical character was. So first, we're going to go with Coach Unicorn. Here's some stats about Coach Unicorn. She is 6.5 years old, not a day less than a day more.
Yeah.
Favorite color, pink. Favorite food, watermelon. Favorite animal, horse. Then I asked her, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she said, a fairy.
I feel that.
Now, that was interesting because her favorite mythical creature was a unicorn. But she doesn't want to aspire. She wants to be a fairy. So
be friends with a unicorn.
Yeah. Well, like, I guess fairy is more human form. She just has to get shrunk down and get some wings, right?
Yeah. I mean,
You know, instead of just becoming...
unless she's like, are there any like full-size fairies? I'm trying to think of.
There's some in Chelsea and Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, I guess one is sitting here. Yeah.
Next, we have Coach Kitty Alicorn. Now, let me explain.
Kitty Alicorn. Okay. Is that a character?
It's a thing that exists. I have seen this portrayed in my intake of children's media. An alicorn. So a unicorn is a horse that has a horn, but it does not have wings. An alicorn is a horse-like structure, has a horn, but also has wings.
Oh, okay.
This one is also a kitty. So it's the face of a kitty.
So a catacorn.
So this is Coach Kitty Alicorn. Age, also 6.5. Favorite color, green. Favorite food, carbonara.
Carbonara.
Favorite animal, she couldn't choose one, cats and kittens. Age, specific. What she wants to be when she grows up, she wants to be a teacher.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay.
Coach for our third team. Her name is Animus Dragon.
Oh.
Now, I had to look up what Animus Dragon is. It's a dragon, but they have like special powers. So there you go. I learned something new.
I didn't know that.
Age 7, she's the oldest, the most senior member of our coaches.
I sensed oldest by the name.
Yeah. Favorite color, hot pink.
Oh.
Oh.
Favorite food, onigiri.
What's onigiri?
Onigiri are those rice with seaweed. They're made into triangles. They're Japanese treats. And like inside, oh God, Reid, we saw them a lot at 7-Eleven. Remember that we would see those little like snacks?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Just the seaweed factor.
She loves seaweed.
Seaweed snacks.
Her favorite animal, she could not pick one. It was kittens and parrots.
Kittens and parrots.
Yes.
Snack.
I said her favorite food is onigiri.
Oh, her favorite animal is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, her favorite animal is not kittens and parrots.
Her snack is not.
And what she wants to be when she grows up, she wants to be a fashion stylist. I will say there's a little bit of an unfair advantage. Reid has met all three of these quote unquote coaches.
Okay.
But you also
have the brains of
have
a
a better understanding of
girl.
what a 6.5 and a 7-year-old girl might want. So I feel like this is fair.
Oh yeah.
So now you know the stats. It gives you a little information. Maybe it's going to affect your choosing. How would you like to decide who's going to go first?
How did we do it that way?
Well, I feel like I got first last time, so it's only fair that Ryan goes first this time.
Okay, I can do a coin flip too, but it sounds like you're very amicably.
I'm like, sure.
Whatever y'all want to do. I'm just presenting the offer.
All right, then. So it's decided. Ryan is going to be first in our princess draft.
And it's no particular order. I'm just picking
whomever will go
on my team
at number 1 for you.
Are we having criteria for a team in terms? We're just saying like the best princess in our minds to see if we match with the coaches.
What I asked the coaches is I said, who is just your favorite? Like who? Okay. I gave them no criteria because they are in first grade, and so.
Okay.
So what matters is, as Reid said, vibes. I think they graded off of vibes. I think, you can go ahead and make your team according to how you feel it should be or what you think today's 6.5 and 7-year-old.
Got it.
What would matter to them according to the stats, the information that I gave you. These are extraordinary girls too, might I say.
I'm going to choose Belle.
Belle, okay.
Belle
from Beauty and the Beast. Please tell us your reason.
My reasoning for Belle, if I'm trying to blend in with like favorite princesses, popularity, strengths, things like that, Belle is a very popular princess. She's very smart. She's beautiful. She's kind. She's a little more modern too, so I feel like she's a little more relatable.
She reads.
Yes, she can read, and she, and she's a little in the Broadway show she's a little sassier, but she's smart. She's not like she doesn't just take it. She
does stand up to the beast.
She stands up to the beast, and she's also not
and takes her father's place as a prisoner.
Yeah, and she's not like some of the other princesses. She's not in desperate need of a man. No. She's like would love that, but she's like I don't need it to complete me. I would love to have the romance, but I'm also fine on my own. But and she's an adventure seeker. She is an adventure seeker.
Ryan, great choice.
Thank you.
Love this. Reid, was Belle on your radar at all?
She was on the radar. I was thinking a different direction for his first overall pick. And so it leaves me in a bit of a predicament.
Okay.
Because strategically I want to screw him over, so I have the better team. But also it's a matter of like, do I overthink that, and am I not sticking true enough to my board? Mm-hmm. And so I'll go, I'm operating on the Bill Simmons method here. So when Bill Simmons selects his all NBA teams, he wants to think of not just
Bill Simmons of the Ringer Network.
Yeah, he founded the Ringer. Bill Simmons, he talks about sports a bunch.
Okay.
And so at the end of the NBA season, there are the all NBA teams. So these are they have 3 teams, it's 5 men each. It's just the 15 best players in the league, right? And so you have your first team, second team, third team, all of them 5-man teams, right? And some people, because it used to be you have to pick a position, but now you can just do the 5 best or whatever. Some people just want to pick the 5 best players.
Yeah.
When Bill does it, he wants to build it like a basketball team, and he wants them to theoretically make sense together. So I'm going to be operating off of that sense.
I love that.
Off of that idea that we're building a team of princesses. They need to be able to operate together.
Yeah.
And so I looked through what are the things that I need for my princess team.
Okay.
We need a warrior princess. Mm-hmm. If we're getting into fights, we got to have someone to defend us. You got to have the military.
Hell yeah.
We need
we attended that wonderful parade.
Yeah, wonderful parade recently.
We couldn't even see everything because there was such a huge
it was
crowd.
So packed. Yeah.
We need a face of the franchise, a face of the team, someone who can step up and be that, be what Jalen Brunson is. Like, you just need someone who's willing to do that. This one is a little more optional, and it's more of a hockey thing. But you need a goon. You need someone who is willing to get real dirty with it and do the things that maybe you are kind of unpleasant and you kind of want to pretend your team's not doing, but you need to do it to win.
That's the Draymond Green.
Yeah, you need a Draymond.
Draymond Green is a person who hurts people a lot during games.
Okay.
Yeah, he once lost the finals because he punched LeBron James in the balls.
Yikes.
Do you know who? Have you heard of LeBron James? There
Doesn't
we go.
he act in some movies sometimes?
Yes.
Oh, he was in
He
Trainwreck.
was in Trainwreck, yeah.
he killed
That's
it.
how I know.
And then we also need a straight talker, someone who is willing to say the hard stuff to the team when the team is struggling, saying, hey, get it together. You're not trying hard enough, Bell. You're not trying hard enough.
I was going to say, I feel like Bell is the straight talker.
So, like,
Yeah.
Bell was going to be one of those people under that consideration.
Yeah.
So now I look through it all. Who are the people that fill out the team? And so I'm still going to ultimately take a character that can fit multiple roles because I'm looking for that versatility, helps my draft later on, and will potentially screw Ryan over.
Okay.
And that's why I'm going to be selecting Jasmine, second overall.
She's a good one.
Jasmine, I feel like, operates as the straight talker, and there are less of the straight talkers here.
Yeah.
I think that she's not your ideal warrior princess, and she's maybe not the first one you would take to be face of the team, but she could operate in those things if necessary. And I even think she's got some goon qualities to her. So I think that Jasmine, that makes Jasmine an excellent selection, and we are pleased to add her to the roster.
Excellent.
I love that.
I love the archetypes almost that you're describing.
Yeah, I kind of was like, oh, maybe I'll think of that criteria too.
Yeah, you gave it away. But you know what? You're helping a marginalized individual, a gay man.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
I like that. And Jasmine, I do agree with you, encompasses all those, especially in Aladdin, the TV series, if you've ever seen that, which is not available on Disney Plus, unfortunately.
What?
Why is that?
I just watched an 11-minute video about why it's not, or why people think it's not. She does a lot in the series, like a lot of things that are, she's very active, I would say. So she does do a lot of things that you mentioned.
Great choice.
Yeah,
okay. Ryan.
Okay.
Your next pick.
So, in that spirit, when I was thinking about like, who would I really want on my team? In addition to, I have Belle being like sort of the book smart. I would agree with Reid, and I was thinking like, well, who would be like physically agile? Who's going to be really skilled? And in that case, I would pick Mulan. Mulan was my person that I was like, she knows how to fight. She had the idea to put that avalanche on all those Huns. Mm-hmm. She also embraces the softer side where she can be the sort of traditional princess as well. But then she's got this whole other...
girl I see staring straight back at me?
Why is her reflection someone she doesn't know?
Yes.
And she has great makeup remover in that sleeve because she wipes it off and
yes.
cleans.
Just like Pocahontas' unfortunate white face they make her do in Pocahontas too.
And her hair that gets long.
Yes.
It's just whatever. But
she does. Yes. Reid just looked at me. He snapped his neck towards me. Yep. They make her do white face in Pocahontas.
Oh, did you not watch it when...
No.
No, he didn't
Is
see
this like Shrek 2? When Shrek and Donkey become white for a little bit?
Oh, no.
We don't have a lot of time, so we need to move on from this question.
It's not
sexy.
like that. It's not like that. It's like they take Pocahontas to America and they're like, you need to fit in. So they
Wait, do you think Shrek is not a white person? I thought he's very, very... Listen, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here.
I'm just saying that he became white. Extremely white. Do you not remember this?
No, I do remember.
I never thought of it like that. Was like,
But obviously
he's
he
white
couldn't be
now.
that white because he got pepper sprayed.
What?
We have to move on. This is a DreamWorks property.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay, so I chose Mulan.
Also, I feel like with respect to sports, there's a locker room feel with the "I'll Make a Man Out of You" song in Mulan.
Oh, yes. And popularity with girls, Mulan, I think, is popular. Like I'm thinking of that as well, too, with the coaches. I was like, I think Mulan would be up there with popularity.
And she can disguise very well. So that part's great.
There's some gender fuckery going on in this movie.
In terms of global appeal, you really countered me pretty hard because Jasmine, I gave me the the South Asian vote, but now you're coming in hard for the East Asian, and that's an important voting block because they don't always come out, especially when there's not a traditional candidate out there. So the fact that you claimed one was big for you, big for your campaign.
I thought about that.
The other, I was a little nervous when you started talking about your candidates for your second pick that you would take one that I wanted. Because I had my top two choices I was going back and forth in were between Jasmine and the character I am going to select. That's Moana. Moana, someone who definitely qualifies as a warrior.
Yes.
She also is a bit of a straight talker. I feel like she's definitely operating in the warrior sense, and she can be the straight talker, a little bit of a goon. I don't think that she can operate as the face of the team. So Jasmine kind of slides more into that role.
Agreed.
Depending on how else we fill out the team. But yeah, Moana also gives us an aquatic element, which I really like. And right now I think that we're building a very worldly team. I really, you came back, you took, like I said, you took East Asia. Now I'm trying to get control of the Pacific.
Like this is risk.
Yeah. So I have control of, we're duking it out for control of the Pacific. I have the Indian Ocean. So now, looking like around Vietnam, we might get into some conflicts. Just warning you.
Moana's a really good pick, though, because in speaking from popularity,
I was going to say, if we get
super
meta.
popular.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
So
she's the number one
recency
watched
bias.
movie on Disney Plus.
Exactly.
So good choice.
Great choice. Okay, Ryan, what are you going to follow that up with now that Reid has gone into the situation room?
Yeah. Well, then I guess I'm going to head north and I'm going to grab Elsa because I
Okay.
want some, she's also very, I think, a good in terms of like fighting, combat. She doesn't do a lot, but she gets a little stronger in the second movie. But she also brings an element of like ice, water. She's got magical powers because so far the two I've picked do not possess magical powers. So Elsa does bring in the magic element. And then thinking of my coaches, I believe Elsa is a popular choice amongst my coaches that I'm.
There we go.
Now, Elsa, I think in terms
Yeah,
of...
what category is Elsa in for you?
Well, this is the issue here, is that Elsa was someone that I went into thinking was going to be pretty high on my board. In terms of sheer power, Elsa is arguably the most powerful person on this draft, without question. The best voice. Again, her individual powers, no one is really messing with that.
Ryan got a little upset when you said best voice. Now he also is friends with the Jasmine. So
Well, I was thinking singing, and I was like, I do mean she has an amazing singing voice also, but I was like, I'm like, is it the best sing? Like, it's an interesting topic. We can talk about.
Yeah.
It actually isn't interesting because she does have the best voice.
Okay.
Like,
Who
if
will
you-
you say? Oh, I guess you don't want to say it because it might.
One
No,
saying
I
it-
just was thinking, I was like, I've never really ranked like best princess, and I'm thinking singing, not really like just speaking, whatever. I was thinking
And
songs.
sometimes read that the person who does the voice is different than the person who
Yes.
sings the song.
Right. Well, in this instance,
It's not.
yeah. But also, I mean, the fact is that like, Idina Menzel was such a good singer that they completely revamped the plot to Frozen because they were like, oh, Let It Go is so good. We have to completely change the story now because it's so good. No, unless, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall Raya, like, dropping a number that everyone's like, well, we got to change which dragon she was with. Anyway, back to Elsa. So she was someone that we were initially targeting pretty highly.
You and your team.
I was like,
Me and the squad of scouts.
yes.
okay.
However, there are some issues with Elsa. One, when we look at the archetypes that we want to build our team out, which one does she fit? She's not face of the team. Without question, she's not face of the team. She's not a goon.
She's kind of an anti-hero.
She's not a straight talker. Now, maybe you argue she's a warrior princess. That could be the argument, sure. But I think the fact is that Elsa, amongst this whole list, is arguably the most mercurial. And I think that she is someone who, I mean, she ices out her teammates. This is someone who is not in a good mood a bunch of the time. I don't know that she is someone that you want on your team. She's not reliable in that sense. In some ways, that she's the Kevin Durant of this draft.
Agreed.
But have you seen Frozen 2?
I haven't.
So I think that's the difference is like at the end of Frozen 2, she's not quite the same as she is in Frozen 1.
She has a transformation.
She has an arc.
Okay, but she's still like, there's still some concern here. I'm just saying, like, she's someone that like we don't have the same history of all these other people being team killers in the same way.
This is interesting. Where in the princess's development are we picking them for this? Is
At
it
the end of their movies, or is it just like
that's another thing to consider too.
I'm just saying, like, maybe Elsa transformed by the end, but we still know she has it in her. And so, Kevin Durant, by some metrics, the most dominant 3-level scorer, efficient 3-level scorer that we've ever seen in the history of the NBA. But the fact is that this guy has not been happy in any of his stops. He went to Golden State, won 2 championships on the greatest teams we've ever seen. He still was upset. He left, came to Brooklyn, wasn't happy, demanded a trade, went to Phoenix. Now he's still sad.
Go from Brooklyn to Phoenix. I mean, man.
But he's the one who wanted it.
Yeah.
He's not a happy person, and I don't think Elsa's a happy person, and I want her out of the locker room. As such, Elsa had to be dropped out. And
all right, so who's your choice?
So this one she wasn't third on our board, but I think just keeping in line with our strategy, we're going to take Ariel, and because of that, between Moana and Ariel, we're controlling the seas.
Yes.
We're Spain around the 1600s. We're controlling the waters. So from that aspect, I feel pretty good. Ariel has the 2-sided aspect where she can go underwater, be with those folks, but then she can also put a dress on, grab some legs, and hang out with the high society. So I really like that aspect.
Is it Ariel? Because she did get turned into a human. So is it Ariel mermaid form or Ariel human form?
Right, that's the thing.
But she can do both.
But then I also
she?
I saw Little Mermaid 2. That's the one when Ursula has her sister who's on Ozempic.
Yeah.
Because they make her thin in that. Yes, it's quite jarring. Then she has a daughter in that who wants to go back into the ocean. Melody. We got like a Moana spin almost on it in this case. But nonetheless, I like what Reid is bringing to the table. There's a diverse, there's flexibility.
Yeah. Well, I'd say we're dominating the oceans because I guess there is another water-based person.
Yeah.
Also songs. She's the
very
height
popular
of the Disney
too. Renaissance.
She's
the Disney Renaissance.
Moana, we got Lin-Manuel Miranda. Ariel, we got some great songs. Jasmine, some great songs. So I think musically we're doing pretty well.
Okay. All right. I like the choice. Excellent. Okay, Ariel off the board. Ryan, who is your next choice?
Okay, my next choice, I'm going to go for Rapunzel.
Okay.
Rapunzel kind of has that again, when I think of like the coaches and the popularity, Rapunzel is very popular as well. Mm-hmm. Had a very successful series, but also she's a kind of go out, get dirty, do what needs to be done as well. And I think she can be very clever. And she's got the long hair, the magic hair. Now, again, are we going beginning movie, end of movie when she cuts off the hair? Spoiler. Right. But, yeah.
You're getting me thinking, I feel like Rapunzel could kind of be a little warrior princess.
Yeah, I think
she does get her hands dirty.
Well, she has some pretty long hair that she could, like, use as a lasso.
Yeah, and the hair is very powerful. I mean, personality-wise, she was raised in a tower, so she is kind of a little like introverted in the beginning.
She's a little feral.
Yeah, she's afraid to be outside. So like thinking of like your angle of like, oh, how would she be like a straight talker or like the face of the team or like,
she and Elsa would just be huddled up the entire time.
I think Rapunzel might step out of it though. Elsa, I agree. Like she's a little more to herself, even though she does get better. But I do think Rapunzel would be a little more outgoing.
Okay. Also, Rapunzel had a series and it was actually voiced by Mandy Moore, the original princess who voiced her, which doesn't always happen on series when they occur later on.
Yeah.
Thought that was interesting. All right, Reid. We're on to you. Next choice.
So this one is, again, someone that we didn't really expect to be drafting particularly high, but in terms of weakening Ryan's team, I want to make sure that we keep Elsa and Anna separated. So we're going to be taking Anna just to make sure, because I feel that Anna unlocks Elsa. So I just want to make sure that you don't have her. Now, Anna's
on the Traders, they try to separate families as well. So this is a good idea.
Is this ice or?
I know. Well, ice.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Elsa has, yes.
Yes, I've always said that Anna's the Bradlander of this draft. what do you call it? But yeah, so Anna, pretty limited. I do think that she can be the face of the franchise if necessary, so I'm fine using her as the figurehead. That's something she doesn't mind talking to the media. So in that respect, Anna does provide some value to us.
Agreed.
But mostly I think it's just she limits Elsa, and so between that, I think right now Ryan is a crisis that's happening where Elsa and Rapunzel, his team is full of too many introverts. The ball is just not going to be moving. And I mean that like the ball, like the dancey ball, like that they're all going to. It's not going to be moving.
Everyone's going to be against the wall. No one's dancing.
Elsa and Rapunzel won't have left their room.
Yeah.
So nope, not bumping at all. And you know what happens at the party when the girls don't show up? This is dead.
The guys
then
all
the guys
jerk off together.
Yeah.
How'd you know?
Just a fantasy.
I saw it in a movie once.
Yeah. I had a dream about it as well.
All right.
Was that also in Frozen 2 that I missed?
Yeah. So there was an exact scene where they weren't dancing, and Kristoff and
it rivaled Moonlight, actually.
Yeah. Oh my God! Yes.
Sorry.
Moonlight.
Jonathan Groff with Dax Shepard.
I want to see Jonathan Groff.
But do
don't
you
get me
think
wrong.
though, Anna and Elsa, because they're sisters, there would be this like, almost like League of Their Own, like I don't want to go against, and then they cancel.
I've been traded
they
to
cancel each other.
Racine.
Yeah,
Anna was ready to go to war with Elsa in the first one already.
Say again?
Anna was ready to go to war with Elsa in the first one already. But second of all, let's say that they both don't want to fight against each other. Guess what? That's a win for me.
But Anna didn't want to go to war with Elsa. She was like going after her. She was afraid for her.
Do you want to build a snowman? She wants to be with her, but she was
like, I have to save my sister. That was her thing.
Also, I want to say on the song front, we talk a lot about "Let It Go," but like, man, oh man, "Love Is an Open Door" and "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?"
Good song.
Just, I cannot tell you how prevalent they are in the child nation that I live in the kid nation that I visit every once in a while. That sounded creepy, and I'm sorry. Okay,
yeah,
I'm a safe person. I promise. Okay.
I'm safe if I visit Kid Nation.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Ryan, Anna is off the board. Who are we taking next?
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna take Tiana.
Okay.
Tiana, also smart, resourceful, not afraid to get her hands dirty and work hard. Tiana's big thing was, you can make a wish and you can have a dream, but you can't just rely on, you have to put a little work with it too to make it come true. It's not just about sitting back and being like, well, I wished for this, so let's just see it happen. She's like, no, I wished for this, and now what can I do to help that dream along and become a reality? And I think that's a very wonderful quality and trait. And I mean, she lives some of her life as a frog, so I feel like she's got a different point of view.
Sure.
And in terms of popularity, I think Tiana is a very popular princess. She was supposed to have her own series. I'm bitter about it.
Yes, we have discussed previously.
She just got a ride redo in Magic Kingdom, the Disney parks. She took over Splash Mountain. Now it's Tiana's Bayou. I know there's some tension about that.
Well, I was going to say, I felt some conflict with Tiana because, truthfully, I don't really know anything about Tiana. I had to be explained that she was from Princess and the Frog.
Okay.
But she's in the category of princess from a movie I don't really know. I won't say the other ones, but Andrea can likely guess which ones I'm referring to.
I'll say it later because it was pretty funny.
Yeah. So okay. So you took Tiana.
Who is your next? Tiana is off the board. Reid, your next choice.
So still have some strong selections. I'm not going to say the backup here, in case she gets taken. I think she probably will. And within that, we're going to have to go with Snow White. Okay. And Snow White, so why are we taking her? Obviously, she's not a warrior. Not at all. Could she be the face of the team? Maybe. But what I really like about Snow White is that she gives me the control over land animals. And now I have control over the land animals with Snow White and over the sea animals with Ariel. So that means that we are in pretty strong control of that. And I think Snow White proved that she has a connection with the common man.
Yeah.
That's what we saw in the new Snow White movie. So Snow White really
Reid
helps.
was present when I was watching my bootleg.
You just really liked Gal Gadot, I bet.
yeah.
No, I'm taking the one that's anti-Gal Gadot. So I think that Snow White really helps us politically as well, in addition to the Force. So I think Snow White has to be the selection.
She's pro-Palestine.
I was like, because she's
Yeah.
so okay. You're stepping outside into the actresses who played her. Okay,
All right.
yeah.
Snow White is off the board. Thank you, Reid.
That's
All
my
right.
BDS, Big Dick
What?
Selection.
Oh, I was like,
I'm like, BTS? This is it's getting whittled down. So
Yeah.
Ryan, what is your next choice?
so I want to go classic, and I want to take Cinderella.
Fair enough.
I think Cinderella's I just need a classic choice. I need also a girl who knows how to work hard and also has an animal connection, technically. Even though,
Very true.
you know,
They're mice?
they're birds too, and dogs, horses.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Ryan and I have now watched two additional.
We've watched the trilogy.
We've watched the trilogy. Okay.
We have a full understanding of how Cinderella, she gets her arc.
She gets way more agency later on too.
But even in the first one, I think like, I don't know, some of the princesses get a lot of flack. And I think Cinderella was like, I just want to go to the ball. Like, I want to have a good time. I got invited. I should be able to go. She wasn't necessarily being like, oh, I wish a man would come say, she didn't really want that. I mean, she met the prince. She loved him. Okay, that was a bonus of getting to go to the ball. But really, she's like, I just want to go out.
She's like, also, I miss my dead father. Anyway.
I'm being mistreated, potentially abused off screen that we don't see.
And I need to go to like a bereavement counselor,
Yeah.
honestly.
And she's got the connections to a fairy godmother. So
She does.
another magical element. So that's my pick.
Excellent. All right. Cinderella off the board. Reid, on to you.
So my last choice, it came down to these two. It was between Snow White, obviously, who I did select.
You're still going to
Yeah,
have...
so you have two more.
Yeah. Well,
I know, but I'm saying the last time I
Oh.
picked,
Oh, I see.
it
I'm
was
sorry.
down to these two, Snow White, who I ultimately selected, and the character I will be selecting with this one, and that's Pocahontas.
Okay.
I really like one, she's outdoorsy.
Yeah.
So I think that really helps us. Again, with Snow White now, you come to the woods and you are in a bad place if you're Ryan's team. We have full control over the woods between Pocahontas and Snow White. So that's pretty important right now. Pocahontas is great at code switching. She was able to interact with the Native Americans and with the white people pretty well. She really operates on a number of levels. Again, I think she can operate in pretty much any role besides, I think face of the team would be difficult. She could maybe do it in a pinch, but I don't think that's her strong suit.
Yeah.
But I think that every other role we could potentially enlist her for. So right now, I just think the team has a healthy rotation and a lot of depth at all the different spots.
I love it.
This reasoning is solid to me. I'm learning so much about being a sports ball man.
Yeah.
Through princesses. Who would have thought? Okay, Ryan, onto your Pocahontas off the board. Onto your next choice.
We have three left.
We've got three left. Someone's getting left behind at a gas station during
It's not
vacation.
the person I thought. I thought somebody else was going to get left behind.
Okay,
quite
you can
honestly.
tell me afterward.
Yeah. This is hard. There's between two that I want to pick, but I think I'm going to go again the classic route, and I'm going to take Aurora. And I know that you could say, what a horrible choice because she's Sleeping Beauty. She's
Oh, that's who that is.
yes.
I kept wondering who the fuck Aurora is.
Well, you could have given it a goog.
Like one of my biggest factors in the decision was thinking about the coaches and the hot pink color. And I was like, Aurora's got the pink. And it was always the pink or blue. In the movie, they're like, make her dress pink, make her blue. But it ultimately is pink. So I was thinking about that. But I don't know. I do like Aurora. Again, if you're thinking about when you were talking about Forest, Aurora, she's Briar Rose. They call her Briar Rose to protect her from Maleficent. She spends a lot of time in the forest with animals. And they dress like a man for her to fulfill her fantasy of meeting a man in the song. It sounds weird describing it like that.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah. They're just dancing with her. But
Oh, right.
yeah, the owl puts on the cape and some.
Yeah, but drag has not been a part of our society for a long time.
Yeah.
Nope, not whatsoever.
Yeah, nobody's ever done drag.
We are born wearing a skirt as women,
Yeah.
and we stay that way.
Men are in pants only. But yeah, Aurora's just a classic choice for me. I don't have. She is one where the character is a little hard to defend because she doesn't do a lot in her film.
She's a little Snow White in that way, where they're, as we said, are a little smooth-brained.
Yes.
A phrase I have stolen from Reid, actually.
But when I'm thinking like a princess team, I just do think of the classic princesses mixed with some Renaissance, mixed with some modern. So that's kind of what I was going for.
It's interesting because the fairies that accompany her, I feel like almost usurp her sometimes. Like in my family, my aunts dressed up sometimes. They were very important figures to the women in my family. So again, that might just be typical for me and not for everyone else. But their presence, I feel like it enriches the movie a great deal because they actually have some agency.
Yeah.
Because they live outside of society.
They do. They're the spinsters of the...
I relate to them.
Yeah.
Okay. We are down
It's your
to...
final.
So that was your last pick.
It's the final. Sorry.
It's the final pick now.
Okay, so we're left with Merida, or as Reid said, Merida.
No, I said
Merida.
Marita.
Merida.
Hey, Merida.
Hi, Merida.
I did just notice that she is a redhead, just like Meredith from The Office. So that's interesting.
Or we have Raya
So I am going to go.
from the titular dating app.
Yes.
I am going to select Raya because Ryan selected Mulan. So I just really got to box him out from getting the East Asian vote.
Her world is inspired by Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, India. So she's basically Southeast Asia.
Okay, great. So
So knowing that information, you feel confident.
that's good though, because that means that I've gotten India, I've gotten Southeast Asia. So we're kind of boxing you in.
Yeah.
We're limiting the spread of your ideas.
Stop the spread.
So, and again, I think Raya, someone great warrior. I can guess based off of the pointy sword. Now Merida, she appears to have Merida appears to have a nice archery skills, some nice archery skills, and that could have been nice for us. But I think that we are banking on this one being more of a ground battle, potentially, if it comes to that. So in that sense, I think Raya helps us a little bit more on the battlefront and on the political battlefront.
Okay.
I was thinking that you would pick Merida, but you haven't seen Brave, have you? That's which movie she's from?
Oh, that's the movie she's from.
Brave, yes.
Yeah.
Because she encompasses all your, like, she can get dirty, all that stuff. Anyway.
Okay, well, she would have been a candidate if I'd seen it.
She came out in 2012, and
She's a straight talker. She's dirty. She's like rough, tough, tumbling. Like there's nothing really like princess, like in terms of like
the folks that do love Merida love her hard.
Yeah.
I think the Scots and the Irish have definitely come out strong for her at the park as a park contingency. So we have all our choices. Just to read through them real quick. Anna has gone to Reid. Ariel has gone to Reid. Aurora has gone to Ryan. Belle has gone to Ryan. Cinderella, Ryan. Elsa, Ryan. Jasmine, Reid. Merida, nobody. Moana, Reid. Mulan, Ryan. Pocahontas, Reid. Rapunzel, Ryan. Raya, Reid. Snow White, Reid. And Tiana, Ryan. Okay, I'll just say the points to you for each of them, and then you want to write them down and then add them yourself. Okay.
Sure.
So, Anna gets 10 points. Ariel gets 9 points.
Ooh.
Aurora, this was a shock, gets 10.5 points.
Whoa. I'm surprised by that too.
I was shocked.
It must be the pink.
It must be. Belle, 9.5.
Okay.
The belle of the ball.
Cinderella, 8.5. Elsa, 13 points.
Oh,
Elsa was the
wow.
clear winner. Jasmine, this was a shocker, 4 points.
Moana. Or no, Merida.
Oh,
was
Merida,
zero.
none of them knew. So she was in dead last.
was
0
0?
points. Moana, 11.5.
Ooh,
she came in
she's a good one.
second.
Comeback for Reid.
It's a good one.
Mulan, a sad 3 points.
Yes,
Damn.
that's right.
Pocahontas, 5 points.
Okay.
Rapunzel, 10.5 points.
Shit.
Okay.
Raya, this was surprising, 2.5 points.
Was it surprising?
I didn't think they were going to know
didn't
who
think
Raya
she-
was at all.
Oh, so you thought 2.5 was more.
I thought it was more than she was going to get. Snow White, 2.5 points.
I'm cooked.
And Tiana, 7 points. So we've added up the points. The winner then, 62 points, awarding the Piston Cup. Wow. Owen Wilson Piston Cup. Ryan, our champion.
Thank you so
Congratulations, Reid. You did great.
You did a good job, Reid. Like I said, you have winners too. It's okay.
Oh.
You can have this some of the time.
But you're sexy Pilates poppy. Congratulations, Ryan.
Thanks, I'm the winner.
I want to be the Piston Cup Poppy.
Your picks are really good, and I actually thought depending on who the judges or the criteria,
Right, sure.
you would totally win. I was really focusing on like we said in the beginning, 6.5-year-olds, who they're into, like popularity, since that was what we were really gauging off of.
I'll tell you who their number ones were. I won't go through all of them because they were just so all over the place for
Were
each
they
of
all
them.
number one Elsa?
No, they were not all number one Elsa.
Oh.
So for Coach Kitty Alicorn, her number one was Moana. For Coach Unicorn, hers was Elsa. Oh, and then this weighted heavily. Number one for Coach Animus Dragon was Pocahontas.
Ooh.
Which greatly affected.
Oh, because
Because I will tell you, the first two did not even rate
had
Pocahontas.
they never even heard of her?
She's not one that's...
They had no idea who she was.
Oh,
but Coach Animus Dragon rated her number one, gave her 16 points, and really pulled her out of the mud. Reid, you're going to be present with us while we do our last little corner, which is Reddit Rabbit Hole. And I think Ryan has our Reddit Rabbit Hole this week. We'd love to hear your thoughts about what you think.
This was just more of like a funny story I saw on Reddit. This was in the Walt Disney World subreddit.
Yeah.
Several years ago, morning lines before the Hollywood studio opened. Sorry, the grammar is... several years ago, morning lines before the Hollywood studio opened are now backed up past the ticket booths. A mom and dad have taken on a split line strategy to see who might reach the entrance first. You know, you jump in to see who gets first.
the entrance to the park proper.
Yes.
Okay.
So they each have a child. The toddler that the dad has begins an absolute meltdown, screaming they want mom. This goes on for a couple minutes, and the dad is unsuccessful in his attempts to calm the child. Finally, losing his cool, he yells, "There's nothing special about mom." Everyone shoots him a glare, and mom comes over, clearly embarrassed. The wife and I still laugh about this meltdown to this day and share it as an example of how this place will break a family down. And then somebody commented, like, make custom T-shirts for your next visit with that phrase on them.
There's nothing special about mom.
And somebody else commented, divorced dads will flock. Enter code trial separation for 20% off your next order. I just thought it was funny. There's nothing special about mom.
Well, this is reminding me of the Mike Birbiglia thing he does where he's like, in our family, my wife is president. I am vice president. I'm there to just cut ribbons and then break ties in Congress,
Yes.
in the Senate.
It's such a dad thing to be like, damn it, just stop crying. There's nothing special about mom.
Reid, what would you like to say? Any thoughts as a men's rights activist?
Yeah.
This makes me glad that when I went to Disney World as a child, I only went with one parent.
Your parents were divorced by then.
No.
Oh, they weren't. Okay.
No, it was just my
only
dad
one
just
way.
took us down.
Oh, okay.
But it was just more the men. It was me and my brother. The first time it was
We're blown out.
Yeah.
Well, the first time it was my brother, my dad, and my grandpa and his girlfriend. Well, my grandpa and his girlfriend stayed back at the hotel every day.
Ew.
Oh,
I don't know if that was for sex purposes or just because they're really old.
I think they were having sex.
I think both.
Yeah.
Probably a combination.
Combination. The sheets were sticky. Grandpa, your sheets are stuck to your legs.
Well, this has been informative, delightful. Reid will have you on for whatever the next draft will be. Please check us out on Instagram at Disney Inside Out Podcast, also on TikTok. Write us a review, email us, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.